So when I was 19, I lost 80 pounds, and I did every single diet you could name: keto, low carb, you could name it, right? And I did all these things, and I did lose the weight, right? I did keto for a little bit. That was one of the main ones. And I would eat the high fat, and I would eat the protein, and all the things worked for me, but it was not sustainable because it was difficult to do in a public setting as well as a day-to-day setting with work and everything else going on. So I got off of that, and I looked for something to shred even more weight. I looked for something that would get me closer towards my goal faster, and then I did low carb, high protein, and I did it for so long, months on end. I lost the weight, I gained muscle. Was it sustainable long term? No. My energy was always low. It was hard to be no carb in general because I was always tempted by things, and my will was not strong enough back then. So it was hard to be sustainable with the no carb, high protein. See, a lot of people are going to try to get these quick fixes. They'll find a diet, they'll stick to it, they'll lose the weight, but they'll realize long term that's not something that they're going to do forever. So what happens to them is they're going to gain back that fat. They're going to gain back that lifestyle that they always ran from because they're not willing to have a sustainable lifestyle. And that's why I tell every single client I work with that it's not about a diet. A diet is temporary. It's about the lifestyle that you are willing to change so it happens and lasts forever. It lasts your whole life. See, in today's video, I'm going to go through a step-by-step guide to a healthy lifestyle. A lifestyle is so much more important for you than a diet. Again, the diet is temporary, but the lifestyle is forever. So I'm going to go over 6 main pillars that you guys can implement to put into your lifestyle and figure out how to map out your goals around this lifestyle so that it's sustainable for the long period, all right? So the first pillar is going to be nourishment for the body. So stop eating for comfort. For the person that eats that high protein cookie hack that they saw on TikTok, for the person that's looking for the low carb burger meal and they're just constantly finding themselves that doesn't fill that same void, you are eating for comfort and you're not giving your body the energy it needs, right? If you go eat that candy or that ice cream because you emotionally feel like you need sugar, you're not eating for your body's actual needs. You're eating for your own wants and desires, right? You need to eat for performance and peace. Your body is going to be much more at peace, and it's going to perform mentally, spiritually, and physically, of course, better when you eat the right things. So, everyone listening to this video, for literally 4 weeks, I dare you, 4 single weeks, challenge yourself. Eat something clean every single day, 3 meals a day. Eat something clean every time. Eat how God intends you to eat. Eat whole foods. For those 4 weeks, come back and eat the other food that makes you comfortable, and watch how it doesn't make you feel the same as it did beforehand. Because your body wants the whole foods. It doesn't want the food that you emotionally attach yourself to. All right. Second thing is you need to focus on balance. Right. You can't just have a plate that's 75% protein and then some vegetables and then a piece of sourdough bread, whatever the case may be. That is not a balance. That's not packed full of the nutrients you need. You need to have a plate full of vegetables, fruit, protein, everything that's a whole food, single ingredient foods. That is going to be your balance. That's going to give you the energy and the nutrients you need to get you from point A to point B. All right, and food isn't punishment. It's recovery for your mind and your muscles. So many people look at it as a salad. Oh, I eat this salad because, I'm fat. So it's going to be gross and nasty, but I'm going to eat it anyway. No, you need to eat and flip that script as I'm eating this because it's recovering my muscles. I'm eating this because it's giving me the energy I need. I go drink that gallon of water because my mind works better and it's literally sharper as I drink that water, not because I feel fat. Drink the water because it makes you feel good. Don't drink the water because you want to run from this lifestyle. Find something that fits your lifestyle, and that these 3 key things fit in anyone's lifestyle. Second is an eating window. When I lost 80 pounds, this is one thing that stuck with me, even after the fact, right? I was 240. I got down to 163. Now I'm 200. I'm about 195 now, but this never left me, and that is an eating window. All right, so your body eats pretty much in a 8-hour window, a 6-hour window, a 4-hour window, or it can be 10 to 12, right? But your body is going to thrive on this consistency. Your metabolism is going to get used to it. You're going to start digesting things faster because your body is used to it. But if you're constantly going to eat at 2 a.m. and then you don't eat until 12, and then you eat again at 2, and then you eat again, stop eating at 7 p.m., and then the next day, it's this never-ending cycle if you just eat at different times whenever you feel like it. Your body's not going to get used to it. It's not going to burn fat. It's not going to sustainably metabolize. It's not going to break down things the same way. All right, so you need to keep meals in a 10 to 12 hour window to support energy and digestion. This is at most 10 to 12. All right, try to work yourself down. 8 hours is what fits me. I've worked down to a 4 hour eating window. I've worked then in between with a 6 hour eating window. It's what works best for you. All right. If you only can eat from 12 to 8 p.m. or if you only can eat from 12 to 6 p.m., that is perfect. Keep it like that. That's going to be better for your body long term. So when you have rhythm, it creates discipline, and discipline creates results. If you are actually in a role of consistent role of success, right? You're gonna find yourself getting to where you need to be. All right, it's like an object at rest stays at rest until it has motion. That discipline is going to make that object move, and now you're going to have this snowball effect of being successful to where you need to be. This is going to be the most important part. All right, if you're going to pick out and learn one thing, learn this. God did not intend you to get fat off of a vegetable. God never intended you to get fat off some protein. He never intended you to get fat off some fruit, right? But all that man-made processed nonsense you guys eat is going to make you fat. It's going to make you malnourished. It's going to make you lack energy. It's going to make you mentally feel wrong because you are eating processed stuff. That red 40 is making you not feel the best, my friend, all right? So one ingredient foods will always beat the latest trend. If you go on TikTok and look for a high protein ice cream, that whole food of a date and some peanut butter is way better than your high protein ice cream, all right? Your beef patty and sweet potatoes are 10 times better than your Chipotle. These things are going to be so much better for you long term. But if you're constantly looking for this quick fix, or you're constantly looking for a trend, which a trend comes and goes, it doesn't last, you are not going to last either. So find something that lasts. Find something that sticks forever, and you will stick forever. All right? You can't out-hack a bad relationship with food. You have to eat real food, right? I see so many people that are like, I'm going to follow this diet, but you still have an unhealthy perspective on food. You still look at food not as energy or nourishment to your body. You look at food as an emotional substance for you to feel good in the moment. You're upset and sad at night, so you'll go pick up an ice cream bar and eat it with your show after you get off of work. You are emotionally attached to food. Switch your relationship with food, and you are going to have much more results. All right? And you want to have something that's sustainable. All right? Whole Foods give you something that's sustainable. Again, like I said, God never intended you to eat processed nonsense. He didn't intend for you to go eat peanut butter crackers and Welch's fruit snacks. Those things are all processed. Man does not have the best interest at heart. All right? That's just common sense. Man hurts man. Right? God is not going to want to hurt you. So if you eat the food that is on earth, whole food, sweet potatoes, eggs, single ingredient cheeses, beef, chicken, salmon, fish, whatever the case may be, things that are just one ingredient that you know I can just eat long term, that'll take care of you. So your fruits, your meat, your fruit, meat, vegetables, eggs, potatoes, that's pretty much it. Honey, maple syrup, that's organic maple syrup, that's pretty much my diet. All right. So when you stick to these things, it's long term. You can always lean on that for anything. All right. Water. There is no coincidence that the earth is 70 or 80% water. Your body is 70 to 80% water. They go hand in hand. There is no coincidence that both are 70% water. You need it to function at the best of its ability, just like Earth needs water to function at the best of its ability. If it does not have that 70% water, then poof, it's going to implode, all right? 80% of your hunger is really dependent on dehydration. So drink before you eat food, right? A lot of us don't realize, but we're not actually hungry. We're just feeling that craving. So drink some water before a meal and watch how much more you are satisfied before you eat that meal, all right? Start and end every day with water. You should have about 100 to 120 ounces of water daily, which is up to a gallon is 120. All right. Once you get that, it's a great sweet spot that you can build off of. But if you start every single day with water, your metabolism kickstarts, your brain starts to move. You start to be able to think immediately when you wake up because as you sleep, you dehydrate. So if you feed yourself water immediately, your brain turns on. It's like that magic light bulb pops up over your head, and your metabolism in your body are just starting to burn. But if you're not drinking water, you're going to feel like you're lagging behind. You're going to go lean on that coffee, which is not going to benefit you. Drink the water, and you're going to feel much better. And it's the same thing with the end of the night. Before you go to bed, you're going to wake up, or when you sleep, you're dehydrated. So make sure you're just taking care of your body before you go to bed. All right, and hydration controls everything. You don't realize it, but it controls your cravings. So you're not going to want the sugar as much. You're not going to want that processed fruit snack as much, right? It's going to boost your recovery so your muscles can actually allow everything to go into its system. It's kind of like if you had a car, it's like the oil change. It's going to allow everything to work properly in the engine. So drink the water so it boosts your recovery. The water, again, your brain needs it to have a clear mind, to actually function properly. So the water is no coincidence that 70% of your body and the world is 70% of water. So you need this as a pivotal piece to succeed in your day-to-day life. 5, prioritize sleep, my friends. I don't know how many times I've sat down with a client, I've done a discovery assessment with them, and they tell me that they sleep 5 to 4 hours a night. That shit does not cut it. That's why you are ultimately holding yourself back. Sleep is literally the prime time to recover. Growth happens when you recover. In this instance, right? Let's say I go do a workout and I'm absolutely destroying my cells. They get rebuilt through protein and they get rebuilt through sleep. And when I'm not doing those two things, I'm holding myself back, right? Of course, there's other things that go into it, but those two are so important. So you need to implement that and take it serious for your sleep. So you should be aiming to sleep about 6 to 8 hours of a night, no less than 6 hours. When you do, again, you have no one else to blame but yourself when you look into the mirror in the summer and you look the complete same, all right? Poor sleep is going to have you do poor decisions, and when you are making poor decisions, you're going to ultimately fall into line with poor results. And when you don't sleep, you're going to have poor energy as well. So again, it's so important. It's like a well-oiled machine your body is. It needs water, it needs the proteins, it needs the whole foods, I guess, if you will, and it needs to sleep. And when you do these things, that well-oiled machine starts to work the best of its ability. All right? It's really good to have like a wind down routine. All right, so for me, I'll just kind of throw my phone across the room. I'd say the last like 30 minutes before bed, but I can personally work on that where it's like an hour before. But again, have something where you can implement that, where you have like no screens, or you have low light before bed. You'll have such a better max amount of REM sleep as you go about your night. So it's very important to implement that. But again, just have something where you're not in bed and you're just watching TikTok and fall asleep watching the phone. No. Throw it away 10 minutes before bed, let your body relax, and you'll get better sleep. Last thing, move with purpose. So this doesn't necessarily have the nutrition aspect in it, but this is such a good pivotal piece to tie everything in, to lean on, so your body is that well-oiled machine, all right? So movement isn't a punishment, all right? For the people that think it's a punishment, they're just lazy and out of shape. It's literally therapy. When you work out, it's no coincidence that you feel mentally clear. You feel the best version of yourself. I've never, ever, 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 ever met a person that's gone to work out and been like, I feel like shit after. No, you feel amazing. You mentally feel great. Your body, you're more confident about your body. You have more energy all around. These things are not a coincidence. So it's literally therapy when you work out. It's not a punishment. And when you are working, you have to focus on quality over your quantity, or focus on quality over your ego. See, in the gym, I see so many people that are just lifting weight because they want to feel like this inflated individual to their peers. They want to seem like they are stronger or look better or whatever the case may be. That is not going to get you anywhere. Pride is literally the devil. Pride is not good for you. So focus on the quality of your movements so you can actually become a quality individual and not hold yourself back, always thinking of what your peers think of you. And all around, you need to train to feel better, not just to look better. So your performance is, if you focus on performance, you're going to look good. It's just a matter of time, right? I used to always train to look good, but I was never trying to train for myself. I was training for external validation. See, once I flipped that switch and started to train for the long term and started to train to perform the best of my ability as a man, that is when I started to look the best, all right? Train to feel better. Train to mentally feel better. Train to spiritually feel better. Physically feel better. Once you do that, everything else falls in line, right? So these 6 pillars, the first five pillars are very focused on nutrition, right? This is a lifestyle. This is how you build a lifestyle. And if you are still confused, I have an offer for you. So I help people with the Ascend method. Is something that I've built, and this is just a small smudge of what is inside my program. But for those of you that are still lost and don't know how to actually apply the principles of nutrition, they don't know how to apply the workouts, they don't know how to mentally apply themselves to their goals in life, I've done all of this, and I made it all into a 25-hour, 20-hour program for you guys to digest with the help of me at your side. So you'll get 24/7 access to me. I'll help you get to where you need to be with your goals. It's a step-by-step process where I hold your hand to get from point A to point B. So if you simply are interested, click the link down below and we can book a call. If it doesn't work out, simply I just want to plant a seed for you to be a better version of yourself. So I'm looking forward to talking to you guys soon. God bless and have an amazing day.